Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and this is the second video of the day with breaking Magic the Gathering news. Previously, we talked about Eternal Masters. If you haven't checked out that video, check it out on the channel, some mind-blowing stuff. But now we're going to talk about the Blessed versus Cursed Duel decks. And this comes out a week from Friday, February 26th. But today we found out all the cards that will be in this collection. So we have the complete deck list for both the Blessed and the Cursed decks, and which is pretty typical with this product now. We get some new spoilers from Shadows Over Innistrad. So there's actually 6 cards included in here that have never seen print before and are part of Shadows Over Innistrad. We'll take a closer look at those cards, and then we'll look at the complete deck list for each one respectively. So let's get started by looking at the Blessed deck list, and let's look at those brand new spoilers first that are included in this particular deck. First, we have Eerie Interlude, and this is an instant. It's a white and 2 generic. Exile any number of target creatures you control. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. What's cool about this is an indicator that the enters the battlefield effect / blinking mechanics will play a role in Shadows Over Innistrad, and that was a lot of fun to play around with in Avacyn Restored. So I'm glad that this is coming back, and this is a very strong indicator that we'll have some enters the battlefield hijinks and some blinking creatures hijinks in the next block. Next, we have Pore Over the Pages. Now, this was previously leaked, and we talked about it in that video. However, this is the first time we're seeing it for real, confirmed by Wizards. Costs 2 blue, 3 generic. It's a sorcery. Draw 3 cards, untap up to 2 lands, and then discard a card. What's cool about this particular card is in the Innistrad block, discarding a card is rarely a drawback. It's probably more upside than downside, which makes this card a little stronger than maybe it appears on paper, and I'm looking forward to trying this one out. I think this could be quite good. And the third new card that we see in the Blessed deck is Topplegeist. You actually get 2 copies of this. It costs a white. It's a 1/1 spirit, has flying, and when this enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. Also has Delirium at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep. If there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, tap target creature that player controls. This is interesting if we're limited, because a lot of times you don't want to play a 1/1 flyer for 1. It's just not quite good enough to make your cut. But this has an interesting side effect that it can perhaps tap down creatures in the mid to late game, especially if you have ways of filling your graveyard. So this could be interesting. I could see perhaps if the support's there that this might be an okay limited card. So now that we've seen the brand new cards from Blessed, we'll look at the rest of the deck list quickly. Won't spend a whole lot of time on them, but I just want you all to see what you're getting for your money. And we'll start off with the creatures. The photos of the cards you'll see are the last time the card was reprinted. So some of these may have new art. We just don't know that yet. You're going to be looking at the previous version of the card. So we start off with a Captain of the Mists, and you'll notice most of these will be one-ofs. I'll point out when there's more than one. Cathedral Sanctifier, Champion of the Parish, Chapelgeist, Dearly Departed, Doomed Traveler, Elder Cathar, you actually get 2 of these, Emancipation Angel, Fiend Hunter, Geist of Saint Trap. Now this will be the marquee foil card for the Blessed deck, and it will have new art. Now, Wizards hasn't officially revealed the new art. However, there was a leak a few months back, and I'll take a look at this. Not confirmed, not 100%, but the leak showed this Japanese language version of Geist of Saint Traft, which appears to be the actual foil version that will be in the Duel deck. Next we have a Gold Knight Redeemer, Gryff Vanguard, Mistraven, Moorland Inquisitor, Nephalia Smuggler, Slayer of the Wicked, Spectral Gate Guards, Tandem Lookout, Thraben Heretic, Towergeist, Village Bellringer, Voice of the Provinces, Gather the Townfolk, and this is actually the first sorcery. You get 2 copies of this. Increasing Devotion. We'll move on to instance, Momentary Blink. Rebuke, 2 copies of this. Now the artifacts, Butcher's Cleaver, Sharpened Pitchfork. We have 1 enchantment, Bonds of Faith. And we'll move to the lands, Seraph Sanctuary, 4 copies of Tranquil Cove, and finally 7 islands and 12 plains. So as you can see from the deck, it's playing around with those blink, enters the battlefield effects. Actually looks like a lot of fun. This is a deck I would not mind playing. I think I'd enjoy this quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to this product. I think that's pretty cool. So let's move on now and take a look at the Curse deck. Again, we'll start off by looking at the 3 brand new cards, and we'll start looking at the rest of the deck list, starting with the creatures. The first card from Shadows Over Innistrad is Compelling Deterrence. This is 1 blue and a colorless. It's an instant. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Then that player discards a card if you control a zombie. Pretty simple, straightforward card, but it can be rather powerful, especially if you are playing a Zombies Matters theme, which, as we kind of assumed and saw from the leaks, will definitely be a thing in Shadows Over Innistrad. Next we have Mind-Rack Demon. Now this is the marquee card for the Cursed deck, and this will be in foil, 2 black, 2 generic. It's a 4/5 demon with flying trample. When this enters the battlefield, you put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard, has Delirium at the beginning of your upkeep. You lose 4 life unless there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. So Delirium is another mechanic that's new to Shadows Over Innistrad, and it's all about getting a bonus, or in this case, protecting yourself by getting different types of cards in your graveyard, a variety of different types in your graveyard. So this is a cool card, though. It's kind of a throwback to some of the old demons, like Lord of the Pit, where it kind of hurts you if you don't satisfy the requirements. And this particular requirement is maybe difficult to achieve, but it's still hard to say until we see more cards from Shadows Over Innistrad. It appears there's going to be a lot of ways to dump cards in your graveyard, which may help you get to Delirium a little bit easier, but you really have to build around that. I think it's going to be an interesting limited mechanic for sure. And finally, the last new card is Tooth Collector, 1 black, 2 generic, Human Rogue, 3/2. When this enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn, and it also has Delirium. So if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, target creature that player controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. So this could be a pretty good limited card. Remains to be seen how many 1 toughness creatures are out there. If there's a lot of them, of course, this becomes a lot better in the limited environment, and we'll know more as we see more of the set revealed. Having said that, we're going to move on to the rest of the Curse deck list, and we'll go through these a little quicker. We'll start with the creatures. Abattoir Ghoul, 2 Butcher Ghouls, 2 Diagraph Captains, Diagraph Ghoul, Driver of the Dead, Falconwrath Noble, 2 Ghoul Raisers, a Grave Crawler, some value there, Harvester of Souls, Havengull Runebinder, Makeshift Mauler, Relentless Scabs, Scrapskin Drake. You get 3 copies of Screeching Scab, 2 copies of Stitched Drake, Unbreathing Horde. And now we'll move on to the sorceries. Appetite for Brains, Barter and Blood, Dread Return, Moan of the Unhallowed, you get 2 of those. Sever the Bloodline. And now instance Forbidden Alchemy, Human Frailty, Tribute to Hunger, Victim of Night, and now an artifact, Cobbled Wings. And finally the lands, we have 4 copies of Dismal Backwater, 8 islands, and 12 swamps. So as you can see from that deck list, the focus of this is a lot of zombie matters, graveyard matters, get stuff in your graveyard, and then you also have dying creatures that are coming back to life. Pretty interesting concept. I kind of like the first deck a little better. I just feel like it's a little more nuanced, but the second deck seems fun too. I'd like to try it out. Like I said, this will come out a week from Friday, and I will get a copy, do a product opening so y'all can see what to expect when you purchase the product, what it comes with, and all of that. So as always, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day.
Hey, thanks as always for watching. This video, like all my videos, was made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Even a donation of $1 helps me to keep growing this community and creating better quality videos for all of you. Check out our Patreon page for exclusive giveaways and future goals for the channel. If you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the MTG news, spoilers, set reviews, product openings, or finance videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a good day.